we're talking about the field goals, but the kickoffs, as I'm sure Coach Walsh will attest to, are equally important as far as field position.
Oh, yeah.
How is it different, taking a field goal and a kickoff?
On the kickoff, all the coaches tell me kick it in the end zone. The reason for that is if I don't kick it in the end zone, the other team may, catch the ball and go for a kickoff, kickoff touchdown, or whoever it's called. I'm really not that good. Return, yeah, right. Kickoff return for a touchdown. So the more I kick in the end zone, the better the coaches love me. So I kicked about maybe 3 out of 5. Right. So that's pretty good for me.
That's the premise. You want the coaches to love you, right?
Yeah,
that's very important.
Of course.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to now go to the championship football game, and that was the game over Taft. And as Giuseppe points out, it was played at the Los Angeles Coliseum, which had to be a thrill, Mike, for all of the, well, not only for the players, but for the coaches, I would imagine, to be in that kind of a venue.
They have to score a touchdown.
It was exciting to be in the Coliseum, to answer your question, but
it was a critical game. I mean, obviously you're playing for the city championship. You had about 8,000 or 9,000 people out there, I believe, and but I can understand your point. As a coach, you're not focused on that particularly. Was this a closer game than what you thought it was going to be, Mike?
No, I thought they were a very good team. I think Troy Starr, who they're showing right there, probably thought that they were going to win the game easily. Having heard him talk earlier in the week at the banquet, there were actually more than 8,000 or 9,000 there. I talked to Barbara Figge later, and they said they sold 10,000 tickets at the game, and there were pre-sale tickets of probably between 4,000 and 8,000 at the school. So there were probably really
18,000 people out there.
It was reported in the LA Times that there were 5 or 6, but that's why I don't take the Times anymore. They can't get anything right.
This is the final Taft drive in which they were able to come to within 2 or 1 points, I believe. Let me shoot down to you, Corey, down there. As defensive line coaches at this point, and you're seeing Taft run through your defensive line pretty well here late in the game, it's got to make your stomach turn a little bit, I would imagine.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous because that quarterback was pretty shifty and had some nice little moves, and we had been worried about him all week long, keeping containment on him, getting a good rush up the middle, and he showed that he could run the ball pretty well, but it turned out good in the end.
They had used that play all year. That was a pretty good play. They faked, they ran the ball on the same side that they faked the ball on. They had not done that with a wideout on that side. They'd done that with a tight end on that side. So pretty good coaching there by Troy Starr. He had something in the cupboard there waiting to bring out on him.
And of course the onside kick, this is the big play of the game. What are your thoughts on this, Coach?
Scared to death. Holman Wiggins saved us right there, and I don't know that we made the right move touching the ball before it went 10 yards, but you know what? A kid said a few years ago when he played for us in a big game that when the big games come, the big players step forward, and Holman Wiggins was a big player right there.
And of course, they don't actually have it, and I would like to point out that this video, of course, is courtesy of KLCS. As we look at the onside kick again here in slow motion, and as we see, Mike, the Pirate player was the first to touch it, and my God, everyone's heart had to be just about to all have strokes at that point. The whole season's on the line, everything you worked for, and it comes down to an onside kick.
We were on the other side of the field, and I'm not going to. We'd have found a way to win the game. I'm not so sure that they would have been able to get into field goal range. Their field goal kicker had missed 3 or 4 field goals the week before against Westchester, and they couldn't get the ball in the end zone a few times against Westchester. I believe there was about a minute left in the game here.
Right. Yeah, at least no more than a minute. I should say.
I don't know that I'm willing to concede that they would have kicked a field goal and gotten it down there. They'd had to pick up about another 30 yards.
Okay. So it was questionable even had they recovered the onside kick.
Well, there would have been a battle. It would have been a battle, that's for sure.
Next season, how many players do you have coming back, and what's the Pirate team going to look like next season from this season?
You know, I'm the worst prognosticator around. The assistant coaches might be able to answer better, but we have more linemen coming back and not as many skilled people as we've had in the past. And it's kind of worked both ways for us at San Pedro. Sometimes we've had more linemen coming back, sometimes more skilled people. We'll be there. We'll be around. I mean, we're going to be representative next year. I'm not going to tell you that we're going to go 14-0 or I'll go 14-0 again before I die, but we'll be representative.
Corey, what do you think? You got a lot of kids coming back. Are the offensive, defensive lines going to be as well represented next year, do you believe?
Yeah, we have about 4 offensive linemen returning.
Wow.
There was also some good-looking young frosh soft kids coming up, so there will be quite a few to choose from. Defensive-wise, we have a couple young boys coming back that got experience in that championship game, so we should be well represented and very solid there on the defensive line also.
That sounds good. With 4 players coming back, Dominic, on the offensive line, that's got to bode well for the running game.
Oh, absolutely. You hear about different kids talking about wanting to come to San Pedro. Oh, they got an offensive line coming back. But we've got a lot of good people already here, and I think we're going to be, I have some spots open both at DB and at running back, and I like competition, and I like to have a lot of good talented people there. They push each other to be that much better, and we are going to use as many as we can. So I'm very hopeful for next season. I don't know what's going to, and you know, the last thing is some of these young guys, they're going to mature the next 6 months. Something that you didn't see 6 months ago, you're going to see 6 months from now. Wow, he really can do something now. So goes for all of our guys.
And Giuseppe, where are you going next season?
Well,
what are your plans?
I'm hoping I can, you know, go to a good college and.
You want to pursue football and kicking?
Well, yeah, I also have soccer.
I was just going to mention the soccer angle.
I could do both. See, like my little
the little soccer. I'm surprised Coach Walsh let you wear that on the program here. Lucky guy. I guess
that was my lucky soccer ball.
Yeah, you kicked so well for him this season, Coach. You've got a lot of great players that are going on to better things. Real briefly, we're just about out of time. Tell us about that.
We probably have 5 or 6 kids that'll end up in Division I or Division II schools on scholarships. A lot of times that depends on passing that SAT and having the right core courses. They'll all have the right core courses, but that SAT is a hurdle sometimes. We have a couple kids that need to get maybe 10 or 15 points higher on it.
A point that we didn't make yet, and that, of course, is as with you and your entire coaching staff, academics come first over athletics.
Academics have to come before athletics, because if academics don't, you're not eligible for athletics. So definitely.
But you stress the academics very much, of course, through your football program.
I think you have to. I think there's a lot of things you stress in a football program that don't have anything to do with football. I know that sometimes it's difficult to get it across to certain kids that they need the academics first, but we do our best to point them in that direction.
Okay. Tiger, real quickly, final word. 14-0 season, did you ever think you'd see that at the San Pedro Pirate football team?
I'm funny about that. I never give up on the Pirates.
So you knew it was going to come around eventually?
Eventually.
Okay.
I'd like to interject one more thing.
Real briefly, we are out of time.
The Pirate fans, many a game away, we've outdrawn the whole team, the home team.
Great point to conclude the show on, Tiger. The loyalty of the San Pedro Pirate football fans are renowned, and of course, I'd like to congratulate them, congratulate the coaching staff and the team once again for their wonderful accomplishment, and of course, most of all, for bringing the so much pride to the community of San Pedro in a perfect 14-0 undefeated season, the 4A City Championship. We're going to leave you with some video from that championship game as the celebration spread and the San Pedro Pirates had won the championship. Thanks for watching, everybody.